So if you say you're going to coach like acting for adults, it could be adults older than you, right?
Yes, absolutely.
You feel totally fine about that?
Well, no, I like to imagine myself as a respectful person, and the idea that like I'm not seeking them out and hey, can I teach you? No, I'm putting the word out there, and if they come, then there's a different relationship there. I'm not going out scouting for students. I'm saying like, hey, I'm interested in doing this. If you're interested in doing this, I'll be here. You know, and I don't really think of myself as a very good acting teacher or a very good actor. I think of myself as someone who has learned a couple of tools. Like I've accumulated a bag of tools, and that I see that, and I feel that some people don't know that these tools exist. And when I learned them when I was in school, they really helped me in terms of how I'm going to approach a role or approach a script, you know, or approach, you know, the story that's being shown to me. And I think that, you know, some people know about it or some people don't know about it, but the idea is to like kind of figure out, it's also to build like a community so that, you know, there is this level of comfort and trust that we can go, hey, I really liked that, but I didn't really like this, you know, I liked that, I liked this, I didn't like that, you know. And then, you know, the trick is to like take the good and leave the bad, you know, because in the end, like, the bad may be right, but you decide how right you want it to be. That's up to you. But the real trick is to, you know, let that guard down and really listen to like what's being said to you, because they're not trying to hurt you, they're trying to help you. And you know, like I don't hold any kind of expectation of who will come. Like the idea is that I put the word out there, and if you're interested, I feel very grateful and I'm very happy to have you here. And chances are you'll probably know more about certain things than I do, but these are the things I know. And if they help you, I'm really happy. And if they don't, I'm sorry. Like, but it was really nice having you here.
What about the writer part? What have you been working on?
I've taken a bit of a detour. So like, the first play I ever wrote was in high school, and then I didn't write for a very long time. I tried writing poetry, and I'm terrible at it. And so I gave up on that. And then I tried writing some fiction, and then I realized I'm not maybe that great of a fiction writer, because I really like writing dialogue, like conversations. So like I was writing fiction and my friend read it, and was like, this actually reads like a script, like just a very wordy script. I was like, ah, darn, okay, then maybe I should just write a script. so then I put that on the back burner, and then when I came back, after a few years, I met my friend Mike, and we and another friend sat down together, and we just started developing a script. And this is right after I had started a theater troupe. Oh, okay. And in the theater troupe, what we did was we collected a group of enthusiasts, a group of people who were interested in theater, who liked theater, who had a bit of a background in theater. And then we asked them to all source a script, a one-act play. And we basically just did a critique table. And so I brought my work, someone else brought their work, and we just sat at the table, and we would ask two people, or depending on how many characters are in the scene, to read certain lines of the characters. Yeah. We'd listen to it, and we'd read along with it, and notate as we read along. And then at the end, we would all give feedback. Mm-hmm. And then that writer would then take that feedback and then revise their work. Yeah, right. And then you'd bring it back next week, and we do it again, and next week, and we do it again. And by the end of 4 months, by the end of 2 months, or like a month and a half, we had 7 original scripts. Wow. Yeah, and some were in Chinese, and some were in English, and they were all entirely original works. Oh, okay. And they were all written in Taipei in that year. Yeah. And so we then went, well, shoot. Let's hold auditions and let's start casting people. Let's put on a performance.
So you started that?
So we put on a performance.
Okay. Oh, you have the performance and everything?
A long time ago, yeah.
All right.
And so that really, that turned something on inside my brain. It was like, that was cool. that was fun. Yeah, and I really enjoyed that. So then when I worked with Mike, I was still kind of on that high. I still had that buzz. And so my friend James, Mike and I, like the three of us sat down and we just started working on this script. And it was for a film festival down in Tainan at the time. It was called the Tainan 39, which was hosted by our mutual friend, Till. And we got down there and we drew out certain categories for how our script had to be, and then we got a location, we got an object that we had to include, and we came prepared with our idea that we all worked on together. Like we put a little bit of here, put a little bit of there, put a little bit of here, put a little bit of there, and then we filmed it, and we all felt terrible about it because we only had 39 hours to film it, and we were super stressed, and we had to edit it, and we had to put subtitles on it, and it was hell. And then we got it out there, and it was incomplete, and they're like, all right, give us the complete version. And so they watched the complete version, because we gave them the wrong one by accident, the wrong USB. And then they put it in, and they watched it, and they were like, the subtitles aren't on, this should be an automatic disqualification. And they watched it, and they watched it, and then all of a sudden they finished it, and they all looked at each other. Huh. This was all later on they told us. And then come the award ceremony, we're like sitting there, it's like, this was fun. We're all tired, we hadn't slept all night.
No, 39 hours straight.
And at the end, they call our name. And we got the Judge's Choice Award. We're like, wait a minute, hold up, wait, us? We? And then we stayed there, no one really moved. And then they went, are they here? And then Mike was like, all right, let's go. We just stood up, like, oh, okay, and very awkwardly like, oh, it's us, okay, yeah. And we got up there. And so I've been working on that script still. Still. Right. So I've been expanding it, and Mike and I and my friend James too, we've like met a couple of times, and we just kind of enriched the world. And it's a science fiction piece, and
it's going to be a full length.
It's going to be a full length something. I don't know right now. So right now the direction I'm going in is I'm trying to write it as fiction. Right. I'm trying to write it as a work of fiction, like a book first, or a short novel first, and then we'll go from there, and then we'll have a source material. Right. But yeah, no, I really, really love the story, and I really enjoyed like the entire like beginning, origins of this story too, because we took from real life experience, from stories that we all knew of or had seen firsthand, and then we started from a position of vulnerability and reality, and then we started to like mix it together, and then kind of fold it into each other, and then we created this world, these conditions that the world had, and what that meant about humanity then. Like, so what is life about? What is the human existence? And so it's really talking about humanity. It's talking about, what it is to be a person and what defines us as people. Like, what are we in search of that makes us human in life?
All right. One last question. Yes. How do you want to develop your acting career in Taiwan? What are you expecting? What are you hoping? What's your
my end goal? What's my end game? What are your intentions with this career in this place? Yeah. I've come to a point in my life where I realize you really can't have expectations of anything. Weather changes on a dime. Tides change without warning, and that's the same with life. Like, certain things that you think that are, concrete could just shift in an instant. And so I've been working on coming to this position where I have no expectations, where I just do what I do, and I do it because I love it. Like, I've had experiences when I was on set and I hated my job, and I was getting yelled at, and it was stressful, and I was so unhappy. And then I kind of just shook myself and went, you're doing what you love for your career in a place you haven't been before. This is kind of awesome. And then, my entire frame of reference just changed. I was like, no, this is good. This is actually really fun. Like, I do love acting, and, even I didn't like the role, or I didn't like whatever, I was still doing something that I loved for a living. That was my career, that was my job. And do what you love for your job and you'll never work a day in your life. And I've kind of, with that in mind, I think that I just want to move forward one step at a time and, keep my feet on the ground. keep my feet on the ground, do my job, be a professional, and leave a good impression with the people I work with.
For whatever reason being, like either through performance or even just through conversation.
Okay.
Just to be present, and wherever it goes, it goes.
All
And
right.
I'm just along for the ride.
Okay. It was so much fun talking to you, Andrew,
Yeah,
and hearing your story.
Thank you.
Literally hearing you acting out the interview today. But I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much. Good luck.
Thank you so much. We say break a leg. But
Thank you, Andrew.